Okay.
So, in this session, we will start with the module number 1, which is Introduction to Ethical Hacking. And first, we will cover the theoretical part, and then we will move with the practical part. So, after the module number 1, we will see how we can set up the machine, how we can set up the labs for cybersecurity, and then we
Okay.
will start with the Linux operating system, and then and then module number 2 and 3, and so on. So, first, we will start with the Introduction to Ethical Hacking. So basically,
Okay.
what we are doing is we are training for the CEH certification, which is Certified Ethical Hacker, and it is provided by EC Council. And EC Council, as you know, it is an organization. So apart from CEH, EC Council provides other programs like we have CSCU, which is Certified Security Computer User, and then we have CCD, which is Certified Secure Computer Technician. Then we have CND, which is Certified Network Defender. Then we have CCSE, which is Certified Computer Security Engineer. Then we have CPET, this is for the penetration testing. CHFI, this is for the forensics. ECHI, this is for the incident response, which is like incident handler. CCISO, which is for Chief Security Officer, a security officer, which is CISO. And then we have CASE, which is for the application security engineer for .NET and then for Java. And then we have CTIA, which is for the threat analyst, threat intelligence analyst. And then we have CSA, which is for certified
Okay.
security analyst. So apart from CEH, EC Council provides these programs, out of which CEH and CHFI are like most popular. Okay, others are popular, but not as much as CEH or CHFI. Okay, so these are the programs which is provided by EC Council apart from CEH. But we will discuss the CEH exam details, which is Certified Ethical Hacker. So basically, the current version is CEH version 12. Yeah. So the current version is CEH version 12, which is now in the CEH we have two examination. Like first we have theoretical and second we have practical. So in the theoretical, we have it is of 4 hours duration, and practical is of 6 hours.
Oops.
And the questions is of in the theory we get 1 to 5 questions, and in the practical we will get 20 questions, which is some lab questions only. So you can go for either one of them, like theoretical or practical. Basically, both are of equal weightage in the market. Okay, theory is like you will get like around 125 MCQs only and some drag and drop questions. And in the practical, you will get around 20 questions of practical. Okay, which is you have to solve the lab and then you have to answer the questions. So the
No
duration
matter
is of
which one first.
sorry.
No matter which one first.
Yeah, even both are equally important. So you can go one of them, either one of them. Both
Mm-hmm.
are contains the equal weightage in the market. Okay, so So in this module, we will discuss about first information security concepts. Okay. And then we will discuss about hacking methodologies and frameworks. And then we will discuss about hacking concepts and different hacker classes, which is types of hackers. And then ethical hacking concepts and scope. And then we will summarize the techniques used in information security controls and then laws and standards of different countries of cybersecurity. So first we have information security concepts. So in this we have CIA trade, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So can you tell me what is confidentiality, what is integrity, and what is availability?
Well, the confidentiality, that means here we talk about the information, right? This information should be not shared or anyone can see it, only internally, as I understood. Uh,
Yeah,
Availability, of
that is
course.
confidential.
Yeah, availability, of course. All the information is available to each person, whatever is outside or inside company.
Exactly.
Integrity, yeah. No, I have no idea. What's integrity means?
Okay. So confidentiality means like whenever we are sharing the resources or whenever we are sharing the information from one place to another. So in that case, no one can access your data. No one can read or understand your data. That is confidentiality, which is the data or the sensitive information or the confidential information should be confidential. Okay,
Mhm.
that is confidentiality, which is no unauthorized user can access or we can say understand or read your data. That is confidentiality. Integrity is something is it is like let's say you are sharing something from one place to another. So in the integrity we are ensuring that no one can modify my data, no one can modify my information. So that is integrity, means no one can modify my data. That is what I am ensuring here. And availability is like whatever the resources I am providing, that should be available to authorized user at any time without any latency. That is availability. So these are the pillars of cybersecurity. We can say these are the basic pillars of cybersecurity. Okay, like confidentiality, integrity, and availability, these are the concepts. And if someone asks that what is the basic idea about security or what is the basic mechanism we can apply in the company, so that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So these are the main pillars of the cybersecurity, which are known as CIA trade. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have, apart from these two pillars, sorry, these three pillars, we have two more pillars of cybersecurity, or we can say information security, which is authenticity and non-repudiation. Authenticity is something whenever we are sharing anything, any data, any document, any kind of message, that should be genuine. Okay, that should be, we are ensuring whatever we are receiving from another side, that should be genuine. Okay, which is the quality of being genuine. That is authenticity. And whatever we are receiving from the authorized user. That is authenticity. And then we have non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is something where we are ensuring that the receiver or the sender really sends the message and the receiver really receives the message. Which is, here we are ensuring that the sender really sends the message and he or she is not later deny that I have not sent any message. For example, let's say, um, sorry, yeah. So let's say there's a user A and there's a user B. Now let's say user A is sharing any kind of PDF, any kind of PDF. Okay. So now the user A is a sender here and user B is a receiver here. So after receiving the file from the sender A, now B is ensuring the non-repudiation, which is he is ensuring that whatever I have received from the sender A, he has sent the message or the data. And later on, the sender A cannot deny that I have not sent any kind of file or any kind of document. So it is a guarantee that the sender of a message cannot later deny having sent the message, that the recipient cannot deny having received the message. Which is like here the sender and the receiver both are like ensuring that whatever the sender has sent, I have received the message. Okay. That is what we are ensuring, the non-repudiation here. So confidentiality, integrity, availability, and we have authenticity, and then we have non-repudiation. So these are the concepts. Now, how to ensure these concepts or how to apply these concepts, that is we will do with the help of techniques. Like for example, if we have to apply the confidentiality or integrity, then we can apply encryption. So that is our technique there. Okay. And here we have one more definition of information security, which is information security is a state of well-being of information and infra in which the possibility of theft, tampering, and disruption of information and services is low or tolerable. Which is like we are ensuring that whatever I am protecting means what is important for us. The information first, which is the data, and the systems which are transmitting the data or storing the data or processing the data. That is infra. Okay. So the information, which is the data only, and the infra, which is the systems, the devices, whatever we have in the company, that should be secure enough so that in the future, they can like handle some low level risk. which is like we are securing the system enough or the data enough so that they can handle some low level risk. Or we can say the possibility of any theft, any attack, any kind of breach should be tolerable or low. That is a basic definition of information security. And there's one more thing, which is like if we want to secure our data, because data is everything, so we have to secure the data. So now we have to secure the data in three states. Okay, in three states. So first state is when the data is somewhere stored. Okay, when the data is in storage. It can be in the database, it can be in a cloud server, it can be offline, it can be online, or it can be inside hard disk, inside the system. So data can be stored anywhere. So first we have to like secure data wherever it is stored. Second state is whenever we are transmitting the data. So second state is whenever we are transmitting data from one place to another. That is, let's say you are sharing data to anyone else. So in that state, we are ensuring that data should be secure whenever we are transmitting from one place to another. That is transmitting, the second state, transmission. And third is processing. Processing is something whenever you are using the data. For example, I am using this particular PPT. So this is what I am processing, which is my RAM memory, my temporary memory, my queues, my stacks. They are processing the this particular PDF, sorry, PPT. So here I am ensuring that whatever the data I am using currently, that should be secure. So we have to secure data in these three states. Whenever the data is stored somewhere else, whenever the data is transmitting from one place to another, and whenever the data is in process. Okay, or we can say in processing or in use.
Okay.
Or in use. Okay. So that is, if we are ensuring these three states, then we can say, okay, so there's a security, there's some security which is protecting the real data. Okay, it is not like if we are protecting the data only in one state, then we cannot say that we are applied the full-fledged security there. No, if we are securing the data in three states, then we can say, okay, there's a full-fledged security in this particular company or in this particular area. Okay, is it clear this much?
Yeah, this is the first time I hear this information, so not 100%, I will be honest, but I've tried to handle it.
Okay. So then we have motive, goals, and objectives of information security. So, like, what is the reason behind any attack? Or what is the, we can say, what, like, components of the attack? So, the components of the attacks are motive, we can say a goal, we have a
Mm-hmm.
method, and then we have a vulnerability. Let's say there's an attacker, and that attacker is attacking your system. Now, there's something, a reason behind that attack. That is, we can say, a motive. Without
Mm-hmm.
motive, we cannot hack. Like if I want to hack your system, so there's something motive there. Okay, like I want to hack your system for any particular reason or any particular motive. For example, I want to steal your data. I want to encrypt your data for any financial gain. I want
Mm-hmm.
to spy you, whatever the reason is. So there's somewhat motive behind any attack. Okay, because motive will give you a direction of hacking. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it will give you a direction of hacking. Without motive, without reason, you cannot hack any system. Like if you want to hack my system, then there's a motive behind hacking. Like why do you want to hack my system? What do you want to take from my system? That is motive. Okay. Second, so here we have some motives here. So let me zoom in. Yeah. So here we have some motives behind any security attack, which is first, disrupting the business continuity. Like this is a first motive. Let's say if you are working in any company or you are owner of any company, now I want to disrupt your business continuity. Then I can compromise your device. I can steal your data and sell somewhere else. So that is, I am just disrupting your business continuity so that you cannot continue your business constantly. Okay. Then you are stealing information and manipulating data, which is like you can, if any attacker is attacking the any system, so he or she can also steal some data or manipulate is like changing the data. He or she can change the data, change something important, confidential data, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And third reason is like creating fear and chaos while disrupting the critical infrastructures, which is like any attacker, like any terrorist group can hack the systems for creating some fears and chaos in the company or in the society or in the nation, etc. Then causing any financial loss to the target. Okay. Then propagating religious or political beliefs. Like if there's a there like some many cyber terrorist groups who like hack for promoting some religious or political beliefs, who
Mm-hmm.
hack for any religious reason or any political reasons. So that is propagating religious and political belief. Then achieving the state's military objectives. It is like think of one state is hacking the data or the systems of another state. Same as we can apply in the nation. One nation is hacking another nation for any data or any confidential information. That is something military objectives means. Then damaging the reputation of the target. It is like let's say you are let's say if you want to hack Amazon company, and let's say you are applying the data breach there. Data breach is
Mm-hmm.
something which is you are stealing all the users data from the Amazon company. So now that is a data breach and you are just selling that data somewhere else. So that will make the Amazon that is like decrease the reputation of that Amazon company. No one will trust the Amazon again, okay, because of that data breach. So this is also a motive, which is like damaging the reputation of the target company. Then also taking revenge and demanding some ransom. Ransom is like money only. Okay, like if you want to demand some ransom or some money, then we have this attack. Okay, like reason.
Okay.
So these are some common motives behind any attack. Without reason or without motive, we cannot hack. Like, why do you want to hack any system? Why any attacker wants to hack any system? Why there's like there like lots of crimes, cyber crimes? Because there's a reason behind that cyber crime. It can be blackmailing someone. It can be any financial gain. It can be any reason. Okay. So that is motive or goal. Second component is method. Like what kind of method any attacker is using to hack the systems. That is a method. Like what kind of tools they are using, what kind of techniques they are using, what kind of method they are using for attacking the target company or any target system.
Okay.
That is a method. And then we have vulnerability, which is like how we can hack a device. Let's say I want to hack your device. So how can I hack your device? With the help of any vulnerability. If your device contains some vulnerable services, some open ports, then I can simply gain access inside your system without any extra efforts. That is what vulnerability means, which is like we are finding any vulnerable service, any vulnerable software, any vulnerable port inside any device, any target device, and then we are gaining access with the help of that vulnerability, or we can say weakness. So we can say vulnerability, or we can say weakness, or we can say loopholes. Okay, that is attacks, which is like it is like a combination of a motive, a
Mm-hmm.
method, and a vulnerability. Okay, this is how we can apply any attack. Okay, so this is motive, goals, and objectives of information security. Then we have classification of attacks, like how many types of attacks we have. So first we have passive attacks. Passive attacks are something which is you are applying indirectly. Okay, for example, you are uh, attacking some target machine, but that target machine or that target, like they are unaware that someone is attacking their system. That is passive. Like you are applying the attack indirectly. Okay, which is you are not interacting with that target directly. That is passive attacks. For example, you are intercepting something, or you are monitoring the network traffic or data flow of the target network. It is like you are monitoring, is like you are collecting the packets of the target machine without knowing, without the target knowing. Okay. Example, sniffing and eavesdropping. Then your active attacks. Active attacks are something which is you are applying indirectly. Okay, so passive is something which is indirect,
Mhm.
and active is something which is direct. Means you are directly interacting with the target. Means if someone scan or someone checks the logs of the system, so that particular owner or the victim can know that someone's applying the attack, which is like you are directly interacting with the target machine. You are directly attacking the target machine. You are directly sending the packets. You are directly applying some payload, some malware to the target machine. That is active, which is you are interacting with the target directly. Okay. Then we have closing attacks. Closing is something which is like physical attacks. Means closing is like when you are available at that particular location physically. For
Mhm.
example, you want to hack any company. Okay. Now, if you want to hack the company, then you have to like be inside the company. So that is closing. It is like you have to gain a physical access to the system or to the servers of the company. Okay, that is closing. Means, for example, there's a system inside the company, and you are visiting the company, and there you are applying some pen drive, some malicious pen drive. You are injecting some malicious pen drive or something inside the system of the company. So that is physical attack. You have to be physically available there, yeah, inside a target company or inside your target system or device. Okay, that is closing attack. Means you are physically there. Okay, and you can modify the systems. You can collect some information from the systems, and you can gain access from that system. Okay. Then when insider attack, insider attack is something which is like there's an employee of the company, and that person is hacking its own company, which is like, let's say there's an employee of company A, and that employee is attacking its own company. Okay, that
Mhm.
is insider. It is like person from inside is attacking the company. That is insider attack, which is like any employee is violating the policies, some laws of the company, ends up applying some keyloggers, some backdoors, and malwares inside the company. Okay, so insider is something which is any employee, any customer of that company, any employee or any user of that company is hacking the same company. Okay, which he or she is working in. Then your distribution attacks. Distribution attacks is something whenever you are tampering with the hardware or software while it is launching. Okay, for example, let's say your company is launching any kind of software, okay, or any kind of hardware. So before launching, you have put a malware inside that particular software. Okay, any kind of malware or any kind of malicious source code, any kind of malicious code inside the software source code, which is software's official source code. So which is prior to installation, which is prior to launching. So you have implemented a malicious application, or we can say a malicious code inside the software, and that companies now launch the software. And now whoever uses your software, your company's software, like that software will distribute among users, and whoever uses or install your software, that is all that users like should be vulnerable, or we can say affected by a malware or malicious code. That is, you are tampering with the software or any hardware device prior to launch or prior to installation. So your malware is now distributed among all the users who are using that particular software. Okay, it can be software, it can be also hardware. For example, your company is launching any hardware. Let's say any kind of camera. Okay, any kind of camera. Now with that camera, you have implemented a microphone. Okay, with that camera. a small chip, a small microphone with that camera,
Mhm.
and no one knows about that. And when that camera will launch in the market, and whoever use your camera, now they can also infected by that particular microphone. It is like attacker can hear whatever the user is saying or
Mhm.
while using the camera. That is something you are putting malicious, which is prior to launch of any application of any software or any hardware, which is like prior to launch or prior to installation. Okay, which is like attackers tamper with the hardware or software as it at its source or in transit, which is while in transmission. So this is known as distribution attacks. So we have these categories of attacks, which is passive, which is indirect, active, which is direct, close-in, which is physical attacks, insider attack, which is any employee of the company is attacking its own company in which
Mhm.
he or she is working. And then distribution is like whenever you are modifying, whenever you are putting something malicious in the software or in the hardware devices prior to launch or prior to installation. Okay, that is classification of attacks. Is it clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Much? Okay. Then we have information warfare. So in the cybersecurity, we have two types of path, which is first we have red teamers and then we have blue teamers. Okay. Red teamers, which is like the person, they are also known as offensive teamers, offensive red teamer. Okay. So they are at the attacker side. Okay. They mainly attack the systems, the server, or whatever the device is. Then with blue teamers are someone, or we can say defensive. They are from the defensive side, which is they mainly secure the systems by implementing many security protocols. So information warfare is something which is we are having the competition between the defensive and the offensive ones. Okay, which is like info warfare refers to the use of information and communication technologies, which is ICT, to gain
Mhm.
competitive strategies. We can say advantages over an opponent. Okay. So whatever they are doing, whatever the defensive, whatever the what we can say, security protocol we are applying, whatever the security mechanism we are applying, or whatever the attacking methodologies we are applying. For example, the offensive one, they will only attack. They will create malware. They will create new methodologies of for attacking the target system. So whatever they are doing, we are doing illegally here. Okay, there's nothing illegal here. There's one point which is whatever the defensive ones or the offensive ones are doing, that is legal here. Okay. Offensive doesn't mean that whatever we are doing offensively, that is illegal always. No. Whatever we are doing in a while following the rules, or we can say while following that laws and standards, whatever we are doing, that is legal only. Okay. If you are attacking the system with while following the permissions or the policies, that is considered as legal. Okay. But if you are attacking someone, if you are applying any kind of malware, if you're creating any malware without permission, then that is illegal. Okay. So in the defensive, we have prevention, we prevent from attacks, we have deterrence, we have alerts, we have detection, emergency preparedness, and response. That is the terms in the defensive warfare. In the offensive, we apply the web application attacks, we apply the attacks on web servers, we apply the malware attacks, man in the middle attacks, and system hacking. And some like mobile hacking, system hacking, server hacking, uh, etc. Okay. So offensive is something which is attacking, and defensive something which is protecting. Okay. Then we have hacking methodologies and frameworks. So first we have a simple methodology of hacking, which is known as CEH methodology. Okay. So let me show you that. So we have a simple methodology of hacking. Methodology is something which is a step-by-step process we can apply in cybersecurity. Like if you want to hack my system, now you cannot come and just hack my system. That is not possible. Basically, for that you have to follow certain methodology. That is known as CEH methodology. or we can say phases of hacking. Okay, so in the CH methodology, we have a very simple methodology. So first is information gathering. Second, we have scanning. Now, in the information gathering is also known as footprinting or reconnaissance. Okay. Now, information gathering are of two types. It is also known as footprinting.
Footprinting,
So,
it's kind of information gathering, right?
yeah, it is you are collecting the information of a target machine. For
Okay.
example, if you want to hack my system, my operating system, so first you will start collecting the information about my system, like what is the operating system I am using, what is the what kind of applications I use, how many application I have, etc. These kinds of information. Okay. So in the information gathering, which is also known as footprinting, we have two types of footprinting. First, we have passive and then we have active, which is same as sorry, we have active footprinting and then we have passive footprinting. In the active footprinting, it is like you are collecting the information directly. Okay. And in the passive footprinting, you are collecting the information indirectly. Okay. So which is directly, and this is what something which is indirectly. So in the active, you are directly interacting with the target. For example, if you want to hack any server, then you will scan the server. You are sending some kind of packets to the server. So you are directly sending the packets to the server for collecting the server information. That is something active footprinting. Passive is like, for example, you want to hack a server, and there you are using some third party application for some information gathering. Okay, so that is passive footprinting, which is you are collecting the information, but in the indirect way, which is like by using third-party application, by using third-party websites, etc. Some third-party services. So that
Mhm.
is indirectly. So in the active, you are directly interacting with the target, and the passive footprinting, you are just using some third-party applications like some third party applications or some third party services. That is known as passive footprinting. Okay. Now, for example, let's say you want to hack my system or my bank account. So now, first way is you will collect my information like my name, my surname, my age, okay, my experience, my company name, etc. My bank name. So in the active footprinting, you are coming and you are asking my information by yourself. That is, you are asking my information directly. That is active footprinting. And passive is like whenever you are asking my information with some of my friends, with my colleagues, with my company, uh, like watchman or etc. So that is passive. You are asking my information indirectly with someone else. Okay, or you
Mhm.
are sending some other personalities to some other person to collect my information. Okay, that is passive. Then we have scanning. So in the scanning, it is like scanning. We have three phases, like we have three parts, which is first is scanning the network. So scanning the network is like you are scanning the, let's say you want to attack my company system or my company. So now you will scan my company's network, like how many systems are there, how many subnets are there, and if you want to hack my system, then you will find like how many ports are open, how many protocols are there, or how many services are running on those open ports, what are the versions, etc. What is the operating system I am using? Okay, is it Windows server? Is it Linux server, etc. So scanning the network means you are scanning the networking information about the target or about the target network. Second, we have anonymation. So anonymation is something which we can say are deep scanning. Deep scanning is like, for example, you are scanning my network, or let's say you are scanning my website, and you are scanning in hope that you can find some confidential information like some database file, some confidential configuration files, some username, etc., some mail, some emails, etc., phone number. So automation is like you are deep scanning the target machine or device for getting some confidential information. Okay, automation is not hacking. It is just something which you are scanning in deep. You are
Okay.
collecting the information, which is like some deep or we can say some confidential information. Okay, that is automation. Then we have vulnerability analysis. So vulnerability analysis is like, for example, you want to hack my system. Now you will check if my system is vulnerable or not. If it is vulnerable, then you can hack it. If it is not vulnerable, then you cannot hack it. Okay, simple. So you are in the vulnerability analysis, you are scanning, you are checking if the target device is vulnerable or not. For example, if you want to hack any server, so you will check if that server is vulnerable to any kind of service or not, to any kind of ports or not, to any kind of version or not, etc. Okay, for example, you want to hack the website. So now you will check if there's any particular technology which is vulnerable so that I can gain access inside that website or I can hack the website. So this is vulnerability. You are checking if that particular device which I am hacking is vulnerable or not. If it is vulnerable, then we can use that particular vulnerability to gain access, or we can say to hack inside the system. Now, what if the device is not vulnerable? What we can do? Let's say you want to hack a server, and that server is not vulnerable in any case. Like you want to hack any server. Let's say any NASA server. And let's say that server is not vulnerable to any services. It is like fully secured server. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, what we can do is we can apply some other attacks, which is like some social engineering attacks, something, some DOS attacks, some buffer overflow attacks, etc. Like we can try it. Okay. So if the system is not vulnerable, so we can apply some forceful attacks like malware attacks, some social engineering attacks to gain some other information about the target server so that we can use that information to gain access inside the server. Okay. But the main part is here, which is vulnerability analysis. We are checking if the target device is vulnerable or not. And if it is vulnerable, so what is the vulnerability which we can use to gain access inside the system?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, third is gaining access. So, gaining access is something which is actually exploiting the system, which is exploiting, we can say, or we can say hacking. So in the gaining access phase, we actually hack the system. We actually gain access inside the target device, which is like we can gain access by any kind of technique. Like we can bypass something, we can attack some, we can apply some attack, etc. So it depends on the mechanism we are hacking or the particular device we are hacking. Also depends on the purpose of hacking. Okay, like the motive behind hacking. So that is gaining access. Gaining access is something which is actually gaining access or hacking the device.
Mm-hmm.
Then fourth we have maintaining access. Maintaining access is like creating a long-term access inside the target device. That is maintaining access, which is like you are maintaining a long-term access, which is a persistent connection inside a target device. For example, you want to hack any system and you want to spy on that system. Okay, for example, you want to spy on any particular device or any particular company. Like you want to check what kind of strategies the company are using, what kind of techniques companies using for growth, etc. So now you want to spy on that particular on any company. So in that case, you will apply you will maintain a long-term access inside their device so that you can keep on fetching the information from that device. Okay, it is for example, we can say creating a mentor inside the device. So that is maintaining access. Then we have fifth, which is clearing traces. So clearing traces is like clearing the logs, clearing the history, clearing some processes, etc. So which is so that you can become untraceable. So that is clearing traces. So this is a simple methodology of
Uh-huh.
cyber security, or we can say some phrases of hacking, which we will use in the entire syllabus. Okay, this is the
Okay.
methodology which is very common. Okay, we can say this is a universal methodology. For example, we have some other methodologies like cyber kill chain, MITRE framework. We have some penetration methodology. We have some IoT methodology. So whatever the methodology we have, all other methodologies revolves around this methodology, which is this methodology is quite common. Okay, so we will use this methodology, and it is very simple. We have to do one thing, which is we have to move just step by step. Like, for example, you want to hack any device. So you can start from information gathering, then you can move with the scanning the network, then enumeration, and then vulnerability analysis. After the vulnerability analysis, you will get idea about your target device, which is like you will check if the device is vulnerable or not. If it is vulnerable, then you can find the vulnerability. And if you manages to find any vulnerability inside the target machine, then you can simply gain access inside that machine. Okay, that is gaining access. And maintaining access is something which depends on your purpose of hacking, right? For example, you want to hack my device, and you want to just take some data from my device for one time. So in that case, you will not do this maintaining access. You will avoid this maintaining access because it depends on the purpose of hacking. You want to hack my system for only once, so you will
Mm-hmm.
just take something from my system and you can go. So that is you can just avoid this step. But if you want to create a long term access in my system, then you will do this step, which is maintaining the long term access. Okay. So this maintaining access depends on the motive of hacking, like why you are hacking the target
Mm-hmm.
machine.
Right. Yes.
Is it clear this much methodology?
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
So same as we have here, which is CH methodology. So footprinting, which is same as information gathering. Then we are scanning the network. Then we have enumeration, which is deep scanning. And then we have vulnerability analysis, which is like we are checking if the system is or the device is vulnerable or not. Then we have system hacking. System hacking is same as gaining access. So in the system hacking, we can gain access in multiple ways. Like if one way is not working, we can use second way. If second way is not working, we can use third way. So there are like lots of places we can gain access inside a system if the system is vulnerable. Okay. For example, we can crack the passwords, we can apply the brute force attack, we can also exploit the vulnerability which we have found in this step. Okay. We can apply the vulnerability exploitation, which is like we can exploit the vulnerability which we have found in this stage. Okay. And then we are accelerating privileges. Now, this is something which you are gaining the higher access inside the same system. For example, you have compromised a device. Okay, this device, let's say. And now you have gained access inside the device as a normal user. Okay. What is a normal user? Means a normal user can do some limited number of activities. Okay. Now you want a file from this system which can only be open or accessed by a root user. Okay, but you have gained access or you have hacked this system as a normal user. Means you are inside the system as a normal user. Means you don't have higher privileges. You cannot open that file which needs higher privileges. So now for accessing that file, that is a main purpose, you will apply this accelerating privileges, which is like moving from normal user to the root user, which is like gaining the higher access inside the same
Mm-hmm.
system, which means you are further hacking the same system. Okay, you are further hacking the same system. That is root access. Means you are a normal user. Now you have to further hack the same machine to gain a root user access, so that you can access the file whatever you want. Okay, and that process is known as accelerating privileges, which is like gaining the higher access. Okay, and then we are maintaining the access, which is like we can apply any backdoor, we can hide any file, we can hide any process, we can execute any malware, any application for maintaining a long-term access. And then last we have clearing the logs, which is clearing the traces, which is like whatever we update, we are covering the tracks. Okay, so that we can become untraceable. So this is a simple attacking methodology. Okay, this is not something protecting. This is something we can use for attacking. Okay. For the protecting, we have many frameworks. We have NIST framework. We have many frameworks. But for the attacking, this is the perfect methodology, I must say. Okay. So after this methodology, we have some more methodologies, as I said, which is cyber kill chain methodology. But whatever the methodology we have, this is all similar to the CEH methodology. Okay. For example, you can see in the cyber kill chain methodology, we have first reconnaissance. So reconnaissance is same as information gathering. Now in the reconnaissance, we can say it is information gathering. We can say scanning the network. We can say enumeration. So all these steps are in this one step, which is reconnaissance, which is like you are collecting the information of the target machine. You are scanning the network. You are deep scanning the network, and you are finding the vulnerable points. So this is all comes inside reconnaissance. Then we have weaponization. Weaponization is something you are creating any malware, or malicious exploit, any payload, anything which is malicious, which can harm the target machine. So
In this
weaponization is you
course,
are creating something.
in this course, we are going also to create some weaponization here. For example,
Sorry.
are we going to create that from zero, weaponization here in this course also?
In the weaponization, it is like you can create from starting also, or you can create with the help of any tool also.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I mean, we can here in this course also create malware or whatever, any
Oh, no,
virus. We
no.
can use
Actually,
it?
yeah,
No.
no, no. We will create malware with the help of tools, but we cannot like we can create with the help of programming languages, like from the programming, from the coding, but that is
Mm-hmm.
not inside the syllabus. Okay, that is something
Okay.
very advanced.
Okay.
If you want to create the malwares, then you can create with the help of Python or C or C++, okay, PHP, etc.
Okay.
Okay. So weaponization is something which is you are creating the exploits, you are creating the malicious payload. Okay. Then your delivery. The delivery is like you are delivering your malware which you have created in the stage number second. So you can deliver through any USB, any pen drive, any email, or any other medium. Okay. So that is delivery, which is delivering your malware or any malicious code. Then your exploitation. Exploitation is something which is executing your malware. Okay, which is exploitation is running your malicious code in the victim machine. Then there's installation, which is like install some other further malwares inside the same machine, so that you can take the control over the machine. For example, let's say you have created a malware. Sorry. For example, you have created a malware inside a malware which will further download any other malware in the victim machine. So first you will create a malware that will download something that is exploitation. You are running that malware, and when that malware run, that malware further downloads any other malware or install any other malware. So that is installation, which is installation of other malwares inside the victim machine, so that you can take command and control, which is known as C2C. C2C, or we can say C square, it is something you are taking the control over the victim machine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is known as command and control. For example, you have sent the malware in my machine. Okay, now you have installed the malware in my machine. So now you can control my machine, okay, from your machine. which is like this is the attacker machine. Now you can apply any command in your machine and that will execute in my machine and the result will show in your machine.
Mhm.
So that is taking the command and taking the control over the target machine. Okay, or we can say victim machine. So that you can communicate or you can do anything in the target machine. Then we have actions or objectives, which is like now you are performing the actions, you are doing whatever you want to do, which is like just achieving your objectives, or we can say achieving your purpose of hacking. Okay, for example, your purpose is to steal something, some files, some images from my system. So now you will do that only. Okay, you will steal some file, you will find the files, you will then download the files from my system to your system, etc. So that is actions on objectives. So this is also similar to the cyber CEH methodology.
Okay.
Okay, so that is cyber culture methodology. Then we have tactics, techniques, and procedures, which is also known as TTPs. Now this is very important to understand the behavior of any attacker. Okay, so these TTPs refers to the patterns of activities and methods which is associated with the specific threat actors or groups of threat actors. So first we have a keyword here, which is a threat, and then we have threat actors. A threat is something which can harm your system. Okay, a threat can anything. It can it can any malware. It can be any attack, any technique, any tool, etc. So threat is something which can harm your device. That is threat. And threat actors are known as, we can say, hackers or we can say attackers. Okay. So threat actors are the person who is launching the threat, who is sharing the threat, or who is involved in the process of the threat. That is known as threat actors. So these TTPs are important to know the behavior of the attackers. Okay. Like what kind of attacks they are using, what kind of techniques they are using, what kind of methodology they are using for attacking. Because as you know that technologies keep on updating, so as the attackers are also keep on updating themselves, so as their methodologies are keep on updating, their techniques, their applications, their tools, their malwares are keep on like updating. So that is why we have to keep on understanding the behavior of the attackers, the attacker methodologies, the attackers techniques or the tools they use or the procedure they use. That is known as TTPs. That is why we are considering this TTP. So these are very important as per to understand the behavior of the attacker. So first we have tactics. In the tactics we have methodology. It is like what kind of methodology a attacker is using. That is known as tactics. For example, we have a methodology here, which is CEH methodology. So this is a methodology. So maybe the attacker can use this methodology. Maybe the attacker can use any other advanced methodology than this. So in the tactics, we are understanding the methodology. Okay, like what kind of methodology, what kind of guidelines, what kind of strategy that particular attacker is using for hacking my system or hacking the device. That is known as tactics. For example, you can see this guideline consists of various tactics for
Mhm.
information gathering to perform initial exploitation, privilege acceleration, lateral movement, etc. Okay. Then your techniques. Techniques is something which is like what kind of technique the attacker mainly uses. For example, maybe the attacker can apply any website attack, maybe the attacker can apply any malware attack, or what kind of malware they are applying. So that is technique. Like what kind of technique that particular attacker is using, what kind of method they are using. That is known as techniques. Then we have procedure. Procedure is something which is the actual implementation of the attacker applying the attack. That is known as procedure. It is something which is the attacker is actually applying. It is something which is the step-by-step process the attacker is following. Okay, which is like the actual actions of the attacker. That is known as procedure. Okay, which is like actually applying the that particular methodology or particular technique. Okay, that is known as procedure. So this TTP helps us to understand the behavior of the attacker. Okay. And the attacker is also like they are keep on updating their methodology, they keep on updating their malwares, their techniques, their procedures. So also we have to keep on we have to keep on reviewing their applications or their techniques or their tactics. Okay, so that we can protect our system from those behavior or from those techniques. Okay, so that is TTPs. Then we have MITRE attacking framework. So it is another framework which is similar to the cyber kill chain, but there's something special about this MITRE attack framework, which is this particular framework is taken from, or we can say it is based on the real world observation. Okay, and we can apply this particular framework in any sector of the economy. For example, we can apply in the private sector, we can apply in the government sector, we can apply in the any product based company or any services based company. Okay, that is the benefit of using this framework. So it is similar to the cyber kill chain methodology. So in this, we have first, same we have reconnaissance, then we have weaponization, delivering, exploitation, control, and command execution, and then maintain, which is maintaining the access. So reconnaissance and weaponization is something which is a pre-attack, and then delivering the malware up to maintenance is something enterprise attack. Okay. Pre-attack is something which we are preparing for attacking the target machine. Okay, and enterprise is something which we have launched the malware in the enterprise level, which is in the company or in the device. That is why it is known as enterprise attack. Okay, so there's few points to note here. First point is this framework is based on the real world observation. And secondly, we can apply this particular framework anywhere, like in any sector of the economy, for example, private sector, government sector, and the any product based or services based company. Okay, this is second point. And third point is it is similar to the cyber kill chain. And fourth point is just something new is that we have divided this particular methodology into two parts, which is pre-attack and then enterprise attack. Okay, so this is about MITRE attack framework. Is it clear this much?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have diamond model of intrusion analysis. So it is a kind of, we can say, a model which we can put or we can apply in the company to analyze the attack. Okay, to analyze or we can say to investigate any particular incident. That is known as diamond model of intrusion analysis. So it is a kind of framework which we can apply in the companies for identifying the clusters of events that are correlated on any of the system in any in an organization. So diamond model is something which we can apply after the attack. Like if you want to investigate any attack, let's say there's any attack or there's any data breach happens in your company. Okay, or any attacker attacks any company. So what we can do after the attack or what kind of methodology we can follow, what kind of framework we can follow. Okay, for example, any attacker attacks my company. So in that case, I cannot sit and relax, right? I have to do something. I cannot just pack my bags and go home. Okay, that is not possible. So what we can do is, first we can take all the precautions to avoid the attacks. Okay, we can do risk assessment, we can do threat modeling, we can do threat analyst, we can do penetration testing, we can do number of activities to prevent the attack. But in the cybersecurity, we say no system is safe. These are one chance. There's always a 1 to 2 chance that there's a chance of compromising any system. Any attacker can compromise a system. Okay, so what we can do after the compromise? Okay, like what we can do after any incident or after any attack. So that is what this model is saying. Like we have to investigate first. Okay, so how we can investigate? So here we have 4 elements in this particular model. First, we have adversary. Adversary is something who was behind the attack. An opponent means who is the attacker? That is adversary. Then we have victim. Who is the victim? Like where the attack was performed. That is the victim. Then we have capability. Like what kind of strategy, what kind of technique, what kind of tools, what kind of malwares that particular attacker uses for attack the for compromise the victim. And then we have infra. Infra is something what the adversary used to reach the victim. For example, we have a network of any company. Okay, like for example, inside this network, this is my main system. Let's say that particular methodology or particular technique. Okay, that is known as procedure. So this TTP helps us to understand the behavior of the attacker. Okay. And the attacker is also like they are keep on updating their methodology, they keep on updating their malwares, their techniques, their procedures. So also we have to keep on we have to keep on reviewing their applications or their techniques or their tactics. Okay, so that we can protect our system from those behavior or from those techniques. Okay, so that is TTPs. Then we have MITRE attacking framework. So it is another framework which is similar to the cyber kill chain, but there's something special about this MITRE attack framework, which is this particular framework is taken from, or we can say it is based on the real world observation. Okay, and we can apply this particular framework in any sector of the economy. For example, we can apply in the private sector, we can apply in the government sector, we can apply in the any product based company or any services based company. Okay, that is the benefit of using this framework. So it is similar to the cyber kill chain methodology. So in this we have first same we have reconnaissance, then we have weaponization, delivering, exploitation, control, and command execution, and then maintain, which is maintaining the access. So reconnaissance and weaponization is something which is a pre-attack, and then delivering the malware up to maintenance is something enterprise attack. Okay. Pre-attack is something which we are preparing for attacking the target machine. Okay, and enterprise is something which we have launched the malware in the enterprise language, which is in the company or in the device. That is why it is known as enterprise attack. Okay, so there's few points to note here. First point is this framework is based on the real world observation. And secondly, we can apply this particular framework anywhere, like in any sector of the economy, for example, private sector, government sector, and the any product based or services based company. Okay, this is second point. And third point is it is similar to the cyber kill chain. And fourth point is this just something new is that we have divided this particular methodology into two parts, which is pre-attack and then enterprise attack. Okay, so this is about MITRE attack framework. Is it clear this much?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have diamond model of intrusion analysis. So it is a kind of, we can say, a model which we can put or we can apply in the company to analyze the attack. Okay, to analyze or we can say to investigate any particular incident. That is known as diamond model of intrusion analysis. So it is a kind of framework which we can apply in the companies for identifying the clusters of events that are correlated on any of the system in any in an organization. So diamond model is something which we can apply after the attack. Like if you want to investigate any attack, let's say there's any attack or there's any data breach happens in your company. okay, or any attacker attacks any company. So what we can do after the attack, or what kind of methodology we can follow, what kind of framework we can follow. Okay, for example, any attacker attacks my company. So in that case, I cannot sit and relax, right? I have to do something. I cannot just pack my bags and go home. Okay, that is not possible. So what we can do is, first we can take all the precautions to avoid the attacks. Okay, we can do risk assessment, we can do threat modeling, we can do threat analyst, we can do penetration testing, we can do number of activities to prevent the attack. But in the cybersecurity, we say no system is safe. These are one chance. There's always a 1 to 2 chance that there's a chance of compromising any system. Any attacker can compromise a system. Okay, so what we can do after the compromise? Okay, like what we can do after any incident or after any attack. So that is what this model is saying. Like we have to investigate first. Okay, so how we can investigate? So
Mm-hmm.
here we have 4 elements in this particular model. First, we have adversary. Adversary is something who was behind the attack, an opponent. Means who is the attacker? That is adversary. Then we have victim. Who is the victim? Like where the attack was performed. That is the victim. Then we have capability. Like what kind of strategy, what kind of technique, what kind of tools, what kind of malwares that particular attacker uses for compromise to compromise the victim. And then we have infra. Infra is something what the adversary used to reach the victim. For example, we have a network of any company. Okay, like for example, inside this network, this is my main system. Let's say my admin system. Okay, admin. Now in the network we have multiple other devices, like we have this device, this, we have some servers also, etc. Now, for example, infra is like something, what kind of, like how many devices, or which devices the adversary, which is the attacker, uses to reach the admin PC. Let's say this is the main victim of the attacker. Okay, main victim. So now, for example, the attacker uses this system, this system, this system, and this server to reach the victim. Okay, like let's say this system or this admin PC is not directly reachable. So for to reach the victim or to admin PC, the attacker uses this particular system and then this server and then this system and directly this particular victim to reach the admin PC. This is the actual victim. So in the infra, we have 4 devices which are involved in the infra, which is the attacker uses to reach to the actual victim, which is the admin PC. Okay. So these are known as infra. Okay. Now we have a cycle of it, which is we can check this model. First, we have adversary, okay, which is attacker. Now we can think of a connection here, which is adversary is a attacker who develops a attack, which is known as a capability, which is like attacker. Let me write here. Sorry. So let's say there's an attacker. It can be any attacker who, which is known as attacker, who develops, okay, a attack. Let's say it can be any malware, it can be any attack, okay, it can be any method, it can be any tool, it can be any technique, okay, whatever it is. Who develops a capability? Capability is something what kind of strategy, or it can be any strategy. It is a like a attacker develops any strategy to exploit. Exploit means to hack the victim device.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this is my victim. Okay. So the attacker who develops any strategy to exploit, we can say to hack the victim, which connects to the infra, and that infra is used by the adversary. Okay, that is a cycle here. So this is a methodology, or we can say a mindset we can use to investigate any kind of event or any clusters of event or any kind of incident after the attack. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have hacking concepts and different hacker classes. So first we have what is hacking. So hacking is something you are gaining access inside the machine without the permission. That is simply the hacking, which is like you are gaining access, you are hacking the system, you are exploiting the system, the server, the devices without permission. That is known as hacking. Okay. So this is a simple definition. You can go through this. Now, and behind any hacking, there's always a motive, which is you can see here it always modifying the systems or application features to achieve a goal outside of the creator's original purpose, which is like there's always a motive behind hacking. Okay, now the motive can be anything which we have already discussed. Motive can be to steal any data, it can be any political or religious belief, it can be any creating any fear among the uh, users,
Mhm.
it can be any financial gain, it can be reputational loss, it can be anything. So behind any attack or any hacking, there's always a motive. Okay,
Of course,
that is
yeah.
simple hacking. Sorry,
I say yes, of course, there is a motivation behind
yeah, there's a
the attack.
motivation. Then who is a hacker? So we have divided hacker in three parts, which is first, it can be an intelligent individual who is like excellent in the computer skills, in the networking, in the hardware, in the software. Okay, and second, hacking can be a hobby also, like any attacker or any hacker can see how many devices or computers he or she can hack or he or she can compromise. So it can be also a hobby also, or some hackers also hack for any illegal purpose, any like it is like criminals, like a cyber uh, to do any cyber crimes. Okay, and these are some malicious intent, which is can be stealing the business data, credit card, which is like financial information, etc.,
Mhm.
and other sensitive data. So this is who is a hacker. Then we have hacker classes, which is like types of hackers. So first we have black hat hackers, which is like the illegal ones who compromise the system uh, in an illegal way. Okay, in an unauthorized way. They are also known as crackers. So that is black hat hackers. So they are also known as crackers. Then we have white hat hackers. Sorry, white hat hackers are someone who protect the system, who also hack the system, but with by following all the permissions. So they are known as white hat hackers. So first they can protect the system. Also, if they are hacking the system, then they follow the procedures or we can say permissions or the policies to hack any system. So
Mhm.
those are known as white hat hackers, which is like they are also known as security analyst, or we can say white hat hacker are like the defensive ones. Okay. Then we have gray hat hacker, which is like both. They are hacking for offensively and defensively both at
Mhm.
various times. Which is like, let's say there's an employee, okay, and that employee is working in any company, and that particular employee is like working in the company in the morning. He's a security analyst, and at night he is like any he's doing something illegal. So that is gray head hackers. Okay,
Mhm.
like legal in the morning and illegal in the night, etc. Okay. Then we have suicide hackers. Suicide hackers are they are someone who just apply any kind of attack. They just bring down any critical infrastructure without worrying or without worried about the cause of the or consequences of that particular attack or any particular activity. For example, they are not worried about any facing any jail terms or any other punishment. So that is why they are known as suicide hackers. Okay, they are not worried about the consequences, like what kind of
Mhm.
consequences they will face after the attack. One second. Then we have script kiddies. So they are the unskilled hacker who compromise the system by running any scripts or any tools. Okay, so they are like unskilled hackers. For example, they are the hackers who are like who don't have any particular knowledge, like who don't have any particular skills. They just take some malicious malware or some tools from the market or from the internet and apply the attack. So they are not as much harmful for the company. Okay, because they are like they don't have that much skill. Okay, to attack any large enterprise. So they are known as script kiddies. Then we have cyber terrorists. So they are someone who who have for any motivation to spread any religious or political reason, to spread any religion or to spread any political motive, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So those are known as cyber terrorists. Then we have state sponsor hacker, which is like the government hiring some individuals to hack another state. That is state sponsored hacker. They are also known as cyber. They also come handy in the wars. Okay, like if one nation is uh, like if two nations are fighting with each other, then then the government hired some hackers to hack some other country uh, data or whatever. So they are known as state sponsor, which is hired by the government. Then we have activist, which is like who promote any political or uh, religious agenda. So they're known as activist. Then we have
Okay.
hacker teams, which is like they are the team of a skill hacker who are like skilled in different uh, like path of cybersecurity. For example, someone is skilled in malware development, someone is skilled in website hacking, someone is skilled in some Windows hacking, etc. Okay, so those are known as hacker teams. Then we industrial spices, which is like they are any companies hiring the hacker for hacking some competitors. For example, we have two companies. Let's say we have Coke and we have Pepsi. Now they are competitors. So now let's say the Coke company is hiring some hackers to hack the recipes or to steal some recipes or some data or some strategy of marketing or growth from the Pepsi company. So they are known as industry spices. Then we have insider. Insider again, they're like any trusted person who is working in the company and hacking its own company. That is insider. Then we have criminal syndicates, which is like a group of individuals that are doing some illegal or some criminal activities. They are mainly for the financial reason. Okay, they are doing some crimes for any financial reason. Then we have organized hackers. So they are something which are using some other resources to hack the company. For example, botnets and some other rented devices. So they rent devices for hack some other companies. Okay, for some other motives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have these hacker classes, which is these first eight are very common. Okay, and very important for the exam also. Then we have ethical hacking concepts and scope. So what is a who is a ethical hacker or what is ethical hacking? So ethical hacking is something, it is like a process of hacking the devices uh, while replicating the actions of a malicious hacker. That is ethical hacking, which is like we are hacking the device, which is like we are replicating the actions of a malicious hacker. We are having the mindset or we are just developing or creating the mindset of a malicious hacker, and then we are compromising the machine or target or any device. But whatever we are doing with the permissions while following the laws or standards or the permissions. So that is ethical hacking. Okay, which involves hacking tools, tricks, techniques to identify the vulnerabilities and ensure the
Mm-hmm.
system security. So it focuses on simulating the techniques which is used by the attackers, which is like we are replicating the actions, we are copying the actions of a malicious hacker. Okay, so that we can understand like how any malicious hacker can hack this device. So whatever we are doing with the permission of the concerned authorities. Now, why ethical hacking is necessary? So that is a very common question. So can you tell me why ethical hacking is necessary? Like why are we protecting like everything? Why are we putting so much efforts in security?
So the question for me,
Yeah, yeah. Question for you.
why the hacking is necessary or ethical hacking?
Ethical
Of
hacking.
course, Yeah, of course. We need to hire these people to avoid unnecessary attack from outside. So at least they can find the weakness point in our system, then we can fix it before somebody from outside try to attack it and steal all the data and may make some choice. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, why are we protecting us from attackers? Like, why?
Be- Because we need to talk. We need to keep our data secure. Of course, for many reasons. One of them, security. Second, for competition companies. Uh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is just came in my mind at this time.
Okay, okay. So basically, at top of everything, like why are we securing? Why are we putting so much efforts in the security, so much money, etc.? Because security is something is we say that security, or we can say cyber security is a IT tool, which is information technology tool. But this is wrong. Cyber security is something which is related to business. It is a business management tool. Okay, so
Not
why
IT
are we
tool.
protecting everything? Why are we putting so much efforts?
Yes,
Because to ensure the continuity of the business. That is why we are putting something. That is why we are securing. That is why we are like doing everything which is related to security, to secure the business. That is the main reason of the cyber security. Okay,
Mhm.
if you think as a CISO level or as a perspective of any top level management, then you will know that why the companies are hiring the security professionals, why they are putting some firewalls, some security mechanism, so that they can continue their business without any disruption. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is why we say that cybersecurity is something which is not related to, it is related to IT, but it is more like a business management tool. If we are involving the cybersecurity, or if we are seeing the cybersecurity as a business management, then we can say we can apply a full-fledged security without any errors or any human errors or any oversights. Okay, but if you are thinking that okay, cybersecurity is a IT tool, then we cannot fully protect the system, because as you know that cybersecurity is not the responsibility of only of the IT professionals. It is the security, it is the responsibility of each and every member, each and every employee, each and every member of that company. Okay, so the answer is here at top of everything. We are like protecting. We are having the cybersecurity. Why ethical hacking is necessary? Because so that we can continue the business. Okay,
Mhm.
and with that we have some other reasons, which is like to prevent hackers from gaining access, to uncover the vulnerabilities, to strengthen the organization security posture, etc. Okay, then what we need as a ethical hacker? What kind of skills we need? So first we need a technical skill, and second we need a non-technical skill. So the technical, we need some we should know about the architecture of the Windows, the Linux, the Mac, and the Unix. Okay, and second we should know about the networking, the hardware, the software parts, and we need a computer expert which is expert in a technical domain, knowledge about security areas, etc., and high technical knowledge. Basically, it depends on the path you are choosing. For example, you are choosing Windows security. So
Mhm.
in that case, you will study about Windows, Windows architecture, Windows file system, Windows each elements, Windows components, etc. So it depends on the type of professional you are, or type of technology you are protecting. Okay. And in the non-technical skills, we need ability to learn, to adapt, to be to have a to be like loyal and have strong work ethics and good problem solving skills, etc. And committed to organization security policies, and we should have awareness about local laws and standards, etc. So these are
Mhm.
some non-technical skills.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have summarized techniques used in information security controls. So first we have information assurance. So IA refers to the assurance that the integrity, availability, confidentiality, and authenticity of information and information systems is protected during the usage, which is processing, storage, and transmission of information. That is known as IA, which is information assurance. So in here, we are ensuring the pillars of cybersecurity with the three states of data. And what we are securing the information and information systems. So we are ensuring the confidentiality, which is no one can read or understand your data. Integrity, which is no one can modify your data. Availability, which is like your data should be available to the authorized user at any time. And authenticity is like whatever we are receiving that should be genuine and from the authorized user. So we are like ensuring the pillars of cybersecurity of information, which is we are ensuring in the data and the systems which are stored in the data, which is information systems, and is protected during the usage or processing. They are same. Okay. Like the data should be, we are applying these pillars while the data is in processing or usage, while data is in storage, or while the data is in transmission from one place to another. So that is known as information assurance. And what kind of processes we are applying to achieve
Mhm.
this? So first is developing the local policies and guidance. Okay, which is like policies are the first and foremost important for any company. Okay, so we are developing the local policies, the procedure and guidance so that everyone in the company can follow that. Okay, then designing the network and user authentication strategies. Then second is network. So first we can secure the network, then only we can secure the devices which are inside the network. Okay, so we can design the network in a way so that we can provide the full security there, and then we can apply the user authentication strategies, which is like who can access the network, who cannot, who can access the database, who cannot, and also the privileges. Okay, who can access the database, who cannot access, who can access this much resource, etc. Like who have higher privileges, who have low privileges, etc. Okay, and then we've identified the network vulnerabilities and threats, which is like we are keep on monitoring, we can keep on logging, we can keep on applying the assessment so that we can find the network vulnerabilities and threats. Okay, so that we can fix or we can patch the network vulnerabilities on time and we can avoid the future attacks.
Mhm.
Then for this, identifying the problems and resources requirement, which is like we can identify if the systems are vulnerable, if there's a vulnerability, then we can identify how we can solve it and what are the resources we need to solve them. Do we need any additional softwares? Do we need any additional team? Okay, that is. Then we have to create the plans for identifying the resources requirement. If we need any additional softwares, any additional devices, any additional members, any additional firewalls, then we can create a plan of hiring someone or purchasing some plans or softwares. Okay. Then we have six is applying the appropriate information assurance controls, which we can apply it. Like whatever, it is like we have to apply the integrity, confidentiality, availability, and authenticity. So how we can apply it? So these are like controls. Like we can apply the encryption, we can apply the like what kind of encryption we can apply, what kind of algorithm we can use, etc. Okay. Then we're performing the certification and accreditation, and then providing an information assurance training. So that is uh, like providing the security awareness training, like just training your team members, your employees about security, like what is phishing, what is malicious mail, what is a malicious link, okay, which link to click, etc. So that we can secure the entire company. Because humans are something which is the main, vulnerability of the company. As you know, without humans, we cannot run any company. But employees and humans are something which are some humans, or we can say some employees are so dumb that they click on any phishing mail, they click on any, they share some additional information on social media to someone else, and they with them the entire company is compromised. So security awareness training is very important to train your employees. Okay. So that they can understand about security, because security
Mhm.
is a responsibility of each and every member of the company. Okay. Then we have continual adaptive security strategy. So it is another strategy which we can discuss. So organizations should adopt this particular strategy, which involves the implementing of all four network security approaches. So here we have four approaches which we can implement. First, we have protect, we have detect, we have respond, and then we have predict. So it is also in a cycle. So protect is something we can apply something for protection. Okay, as you can know that prevention is better than cure. So we are providing a full prevention mechanism so that we can prevent or we can avoid the future attacks. Okay, so protect is something, what kind of security strategy, what kind of security mechanism we can apply so that we can avoid the attacks. So here we have a strategy which is very popular, which is defense in depth security strategy. So it is very popular. So we will discuss this in a while. So with the help of this strategy, we can protect the endpoints, we can protect the network, we can protect the data. Okay, and then we can, after protecting, we can apply detection. Detection is like we can continuously monitor the network, we can continuously monitor the threats. Okay, the new threats, the new malwares, the new the malicious traffic or any kind of traffic in the network. Okay, so we can alert the team members or we can just stop any attack. Okay, if it is like if there's a malicious traffic, so we can suddenly block the traffic. So detection is also important. Then we respond. So after prevention and after detection, like there's also a chance that the attack can occur in any company. So what we can do after the attack, that is known as incident response. So incident response is something which is after the incident. Okay, like what we can do after the incident. Let's say there's an attack, any attacker compromises the company. Now what that company will do now? Okay, the company is now compromised. Okay, the attacker apply the data breach or whatever the attack in the company. Okay, and that attack is successful. Now what company can do is, that is inside incident response, which is like what kind of actions, what kind of investigation we can follow so that we can reduce the effect of the attack, or we can recover from the to the original position. That is respond. Okay, that we will also study in a while. Then we prediction. Prediction is like okay, after the response, now we have to predict the upcoming attacks, or we can say any reoccurrence of any attack. That is known as prediction, in which we
Mhm.
have risk and vulnerability assessment. Again, we are applying the risk assessment and vulnerability assessment. Okay, so that we can check how many systems are vulnerable, how much risk is there inside any company, etc. Then we can also analyze attack surface analysis and threat intelligence. Attack surface is something which is, for example, there's a network. Inside your network, you have multiple devices. Now, the attacker can attack any device, right? The attacker can target any of the device. Or this, any device. So whatever the like devices which the attacker can attack, those are coming under the attack surface. So we have to analyze the attack. For example, there's another PC and that PC is offline. Okay, that is not connected with the internet. So now this is not the part of the attack surface, because that is not, that device is offline, we can say, and that device is not the part of the internet, we can say. Okay, or let's say that device is completely off. So we can say this is not the part of the attack surface,
Mhm.
because the attacker cannot attack any off device. Okay. So attack surface is something which the attacker can attack. Okay, so these devices, so whatever coming in the under the attack surface, we have to analyze. For example, this in these devices. Okay. Then we have threat intelligence. Threat intelligence is something, threat is anything which can harm your system. Okay. So let's say there's a malware, there's something we can say there's something attack, there's anything. which can harm your system. So threat intelligence is a process where we are collecting the information of the threats. We are collecting the information of the new threats, new malwares, new attacks, new techniques, which is in the market, and then we are doing the research on those threats so that we can protect our system from the upcoming or new malwares which are in the market. So that is threat intelligence, which is doing the research about the new threats, new malwares in the market. Okay, so we have this four process, which is protect, detect, respond, and predict. Okay,
Mhm.
this is also a strategy which we can apply in the company. So it depends on the size of the company. It depends on the nature of the company. Like if the company is product based or is it the services based. Also, it depends on the size of the company. Okay. Also, the budget of the company. Budget is very important for the cybersecurity. So it depends on many factors, like what kind of strategy you are applying for your company to secure the company. Okay. Now this is the technique which is very popular, which is defense in depth. So in this technique, we are applying the security in the serial wise, not in the parallel wise. Okay, in the serial manner. Okay, parallel is something you are applying parallel. Okay, serial here we are applying in the serial wise, in the layers. So this technique is also known as here we are applying the several protection layers. For example, let's say this is a main device. Your data, let's say this can be your database, this can be your admin PC, this can be any system which contains some confidential information.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, this technique is used for preventing the direct attacks against the system. Why so? Because here we are applying many layers, and each and every layer is independent. This layer is independent, this layer is independent, each and every layer is independent layer. If the attacker wants to attack this system, then he or she has to put the equal efforts in each and every layer to crack each and every layer. For example, first layer is policies, procedure, and awareness. Now you have applied the policies, you have applied the procedure, and you have given the awareness training to your employees, which is like now your employees are aware about security or security hackers or malicious hacker, whatever. Okay, so this is the first layer. Second layer is physical layer, which is like you are implementing some fences, some we can say some like watchmen's, etc. Okay. In the perimeter security, you are applying some CCTV cameras. You are applying some security guards or some like we can say some cameras. Or for example, you have applied a card access
Mhm.
entry point. Okay, for example, if anyone wants to enter into the premises, then he or she have to swipe the card and then he or she can enter the premises. So that is like a perimeter security. Then your internal network, which is like you're applying the firewalls, you're applying something IDS. Okay, and then equally monitoring the traffic. So this is the internal network. Okay, and then host, then this is the host security you're applying, and then the application security. Host is like you're applying the software based firewalls, some host based IDS, etc. And then we have application security, which is like you are encrypting the data, you are whatever you are processing that should be encrypted. So that is encryption application security. So with each and every layer, you are applying the equal security. So if the attacker wants to hack your device, then he or she have to crack or break each and every layer with the equal
Mhm.
efforts. Okay. So if the attacker manages to crack this layer, then he have to enter this layer. Then he have to put the equal efforts to crack or to break this layer. And then this layer, this layer, this layer, and so on. So this is known as defense in depth, which is like a layer security. Okay, this is a very effective manner of securing the device. But
Okay.
it also includes the high budget. So it depends. Okay, it depends on the company, the size of the company, the budget, of course, of the company. That is the main thing. Okay, is it? So is it clear this much?
Yes.
Okay, so rest we will continue tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow we will continue with the risk and the student response, and by tomorrow we will complete this first module. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And please send me your mail ID on the WhatsApp group so that I can share your PPT and this recorded session. Okay.
Sure. I will share it with you today.
Okay. So any doubt? Any questions you want to ask?
No, no, no.
Okay. Okay. So rest we will continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.